VFX updates, prop hunt, and hero animations. Jonark over here is going to be posting some weekly sneak peeks until the next big playtest, so let's go over them. Starting with the dev update on July 31st. So first of all, Jonark teases us by saying we're getting closer and closer without giving us an actual date, so yeah, thanks a lot. Might be sooner than we think. Wow, what a tease. But because of his comment down here, what does that sentence mean? Their brains are actually fried from developing this game, like they are working hard. I'm guessing it'll be after August 26th. Okay, now the meat and potatoes. Rush is getting some VFX. They're working on the VFX for the third abilities. So as you can see here, Rush marks the enemies with his dash, and then he turns into the Beyblade and just shreds the bots. Very cool. I love the spinny thing he does when he exits. We got this gif for Shade's third ability. So instead of that smoke cloud, it's now this ink ball cloud thing. It kind of looks like bubblegum. Yeah, it just looks like some purple bubblegum. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of the UI, but looks like they're working on a relic road. So we have two images. One is a bit later in development. So first on, we see a couple interesting things. Looks like there's some sort of ticket now as a currency. We can see that over here right below the amount of relics. I'm guessing that's going to be used to buy cosmetics, or maybe you could use it to buy gear directly, perhaps. It's like the equivalent of like diamonds and gems in a game. And then we have gears here, which I think are going to be used for tricks. And we'll get to that later. There's a lot to cover. This is the latest version of the relic UI that we have. Yeah, I really like the colors and background. The white text is a bit hard to read, but don't get too riled up about it, okay? It's all work in progress here, like Jonark says. Hopefully Kaza doesn't watch this video, but yeah, just don't be like Kaza, like what a bum. And then we also have a video of the new map. It looks like it's confirmed that they're working on multiple maps. So there's currently one huge map of the game, right? And that's the problem. It's way too big. Players, especially the new ones, get lost, which is why they're making multiple smaller maps. Personally, I don't like that change, but if it helps the general player base's understanding, then I guess that's a great change. So they're using the launch pads to fly around, and Kairos is missing every one of his shots. Amazing. But yeah, that's really cool. You fall all the way from the top of the skyscraper, and that's apparently a feature now, so everyone can do that. Pretty interesting. If you listen closely to the gameplay video, you'll also hear new background music. Thank you, UAV, for pointing that out. And I'm guessing they're taking these different sections of our current map and changing them from sections of this big map to individual maps. So I'm guessing we'll get a construction map, docks map, and also a Nexus map in the future. All right, now the second dev update on August 7th. Let me just scroll up here real quick. Holy yapping. This is a pretty huge announcement. We are getting tricks. Tricks are this equipable ability that you get from crafting or picking up off the map. It has a limited amount of uses, which seems to depend on the trick. So once you use up all the charges, the trick breaks and you lose it. So it looks like they're adding them because they wanted more depth for the consumables system, and it's basically the evolution of consumables. Let's go over the rest of the tricks. This has got to be the best trick out of all of them. Prop hunt. Okay, the prop hunt trick. You turn into different objects around the map. They've teased about this before, but now it's actually real. Prop hunt in Misfitz, guys. This is going to be insane for content creation. So in this video that Jonark shares, he picks up this trick, which is like this box looking thing. Looks like when he goes close to an object and he presses this trick button, he can turn into that object. So a random player walking nearby would just see two vending machines here. I would assume it just looks like a regular vending machine, but he's actually that vending machine. I don't know why he turns into a barrel here. Maybe you can't turn into the same object twice, and the barrel is the next closest thing. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's interesting. He could also slide around the map. That's just hilarious to watch. Why is a barrel sliding around the map? Not suspicious at all. It seems like if someone shoots you, the disguise wears off and you pop back into existence as a hero. And I can see this actually being really useful. Like for ambushing people, you might have to be pretty patient, but I can see this being really, really evil. Okay, I just barely caught this while editing the video, but it looks like if you use the disguise while going past a bot, it doesn't detect you at all. This could be pretty game breaking if you open a chest that usually has a bunch of bots guarding it, or extract in an area that's swarming with bots. Next up, we have the teleport beacon. There's no official video of this, so I'll show my crappy hand-drawn pictures on the screen. interesting. You'll be able to drop this anchor somewhere, then go explore, you know, loot your relics, do whatever, and then whenever you want to, you can tap the trick button again to teleport back to that anchor. There will also be a deployable shield. You spawn a temporary barrier to help protect you in a zone and lock down an area. So I'm guessing it'll be like a circle, kind of like the extraction zone, but instead it blocks bullets from entering it. There's also a fourth trick that Kairos actually released in an earlier video. So basically, big rocket that goes boom. But yeah, these tricks are definitely gonna make Misfitz a lot more interesting, so I am looking forward to that for sure. What's kind of crazy is that these tricks are gonna be replacing the consumable slot. So where did consumables go? Consumables are now these instant power-ups that you can still find around the world, but you just walk over and it instantly gets applied to you. Jonark also mentions that there will be opportunities for live content and events. So you could have special weekend events with boosted drop rates for specific tricks. Like we could have a prop hunt weekend where everyone just gets the prop hunt ability and everyone is just endlessly trolling each other. That would be hilarious. There are a few interesting comments here. So it looks like Revive will probably have its own dedicated system because right now it's a power up, but as we know, tricks are going to be replacing power ups. Even before that though, revives were causing a major issue. Pretty much too many people were just keeping the revive instead of every other power up, which isn't really that fun, so they want to move it to its own system. I totally agree. There are way too many utility branch mains that only know how to spam revives, so let's get rid of them. Maybe they could somehow move it to the bag, like your inventory in game. I don't know, you could activate it from there. I'm not sure if that would work. Frank said that they will be a lot less common than consumables used to be. Makes a lot of sense. They look a lot more powerful. This guy here had a really cool suggestion. So he mentioned that maybe there's a chance that tricks don't break when their last charge is used. And then Jonark basically said that maybe it could be a node in the skill tree, like a small chance of not consuming a charge of the trick when you use it. So that could be a potential feature. Very, very cool. And the last most important comment in this thread is that shade will never be removed. I'm gonna hold you to your word, Jonark. Alright, the third weekly dev update on August 14th. This is definitely a smaller post than usual, but still some pretty cool animations and VFX. So first of all, the beat one, iconic dance right there. He does some cool moves and also new beat remodel, by the way. And then he taps his boombox to play some sounds. You guys have seen these animations before, so I'll just flash them on the screen. I think the rush one is definitely my favorite. It's just so smooth how he flows along the edges of the screen. What am I even saying? That's definitely my favorite one. The last thing for today is some VFX that they're working on. So Beat's new ultimate, it's getting reworked again. So now it's this one big suck that lasts for a while and then it blows up after that short duration. That's very cool. I love how it looks. The sucking power still seems kind of weak, so I'm not sure if the explosion will hit enemies all the time, but we'll have to see. Looks like the enemies also have this VFX. I think that's the ability that weakens enemies when they get sucked in. That's all the sneak peeks we have for today. Everything else is just Jonark teasing us. Oh yeah, there's some unfinished stuff that we can't show you, but I'd look out for next week's update. So yeah, he's just teasing us because he loves to do that. If you're not up to date with the latest Misfitz news, you can watch the last news video over here right besides V's beautiful face. But thank you guys for watching. Once again, the devs are dropping weekly sneak peeks until the next big playtest, so make sure to be subscribed for that.